Yeah, I see the soul like a cowboy type tavern with two horses on the sides, brown, and Horseshoe Tavern in Kansas City. And I see you come out, Johnny. Let me touch you, see if it's you. Yeah, it's your DNA. Very, very kind of like robust, strong Johnny the sheriff. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay, I'll go fast forward. I see how you're like shooting one robber who's trying to steal. Um, it's coins in the bag from the bank. Um, there's just some building trying to transfer the bag with money, and I see you getting there because you were cold. Basically, you heard something was going on. It's not like they call you anyway, but then you get shot on the head. Could you please mute yourself maybe? Because I hear the strange noises and I don't know what it is.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah, and then when you feel like talking, you can unmute yourself. So,
Sure.
thanks. So I just see this guy. He's got the beard and the mustache, very short beard. And he's got this mask, like a black mask over his eyes. He's the one who shot you. And you have a family with three boys and a wife, Melanie. Uh, and you're just like, I see you get out from the top of your head, out of your body. Your body falls down. Your horse goes like, looks down. So it's like a shocking situation. Let me see, let me go back and see if you already have some attachment or whatever that you had. There's some, yeah. Okay, when you go to that Horseshoe Tavern, I see a woman and she's kind of starting to flirt with you, and you kind of go towards you couldn't resist for a minute, but it didn't do anything, obviously. But you felt guilty because you really love your wife and your kids. And as you walk through across the tavern inside, because there's like a bar thing, and you were by the bar, some whiskey or whatever that is, brown liquid, drinking. And as you're coming out, I almost see like from the whiskey, like a little energy jumps out into you, because there's a relationship in between this woman who's serving something at the bar stand, um because there's a barman, there is this woman, and when she gives you the tray with your drink, and it's kind of this flirting thing happens, through that guilt that you feel that you actually even thought about something like meeting up with her later, it lowered your vibration, the feeling of being guilty, of thinking it, of your thought, and that thing attached to her, it's almost like looks like a jelly bean of some sort that came from her, and she's like filled with jelly beans. Etherically looking at her energetically, she's got this oval type of energies throughout her body, and they're all like they're like breathing, like this chaotic movement of some sort. Um, they are actually living beings. There's some sort of energies. Oh, I see the The mother, I just want to say, comes. It looks like a brown dragon with a big horn on top. These are like little eggs or whatever they are that she lays into this girl. And then via those eggs, because they need food, energy, uh, that's a way for them to attach through the girl, at the bar, to those whom she kind of tries to flirt with. She also knows how to hypnotize a bit. There's something about her that's like she has these abilities. And that little thing, it gets into your head and it spreads. It's almost like a fungi. That's what I want to say. Something parasitic energy. Doesn't have particular shape. Interestingly, that dragon is actually the one who produces those. But I don't think they have enough energy to develop as little dragons. So they kind of stay in this embryonic rather state and then they spread to others. And then if those host bodies have enough energy for them, that they would develop and grow into full grown dragon like that. This dragon is kind of like a sea dragon because he has scales on the front, brownish beige scales. And it's that guilt, the little seed of guilt that you created it yourself, really, because there's nothing was to be guilty about. But because the attachment it starts spreading in your head, and you that's it. I mean, you're in low vibration, and this dragon kind of controls. He uses his little dots as little his little babies, let's say, as a device to remote control the host. They get attached to, and because you were in low vibration, you resonated with him, and he simply put you in a situation. It kind of looks like I create a cartoon. I put figures on the in the particular scene, and he put this particular. He almost like like it's like there's a rock, right? On this rock, there's robbery happening, and you're on another rock. And that's how this reality really looks. He kind of pulls towards you the rug of this rubber and you towards the rubber. And here you see each other and you start shooting. And he created this scene so you get shot. So basically, that's what it is. Because he felt like you were a great fountain of energy and would serve him to raise a lot of his babies. And that's why that shooting it actually really influenced your other 8 lives because this is life number 9. Um, yeah, well, that one was the very first one, the Sheriff 1780 something year. That's what I got. And then the following 8 lives basically were influenced by that shock of losing your body because you didn't expect it. You thought you were in total control of it. You had no idea that interference can happen to you. Let's go back and see because that's exactly what I see right now. It looks like an ink splatter on top of your head. It's kind of lying horizontally. And yeah, it looks like a dark spot, which is interesting. It like absorbs your thoughts of doubt, of negativity, of anger here and there, frustration, all the negative thoughts, whatever it is, and people around you when they tell you sad stories, you would absorb those. That thing, it's like a fungi thing. It kind of magnetizes all the negativity in you and from outside of you, and it grows because like it grew now into some sort of like helmet inside your head type thing, and it kind of like goes like this. And you say that you have this metallic feeling in your head sometimes, or some heaviness, or like it doesn't belong to you, like it's partially artificially created. You don't really feel your head the way you think you're supposed to. Kind of like that. Mm. So let's go back. I see some explosions happening. I see a lot of spaceships. I see a big, dark spaceship. It came to me right away, Diamond of the Night. There's a Night Warrior mothership too. There's a lot of ships with different names. Crystal Needle. There's another one. It looks like a needle, the whole ship does. But it's like a black metal. It's made out of black metal with red lights on it, all around it, kind of like circles of lights. They're all fighting. I see a lot of dragons involved. There's a green ones, there's a black ones. Those are more hybridized with Dracos. And I see humans, but they're not humans. They're Lyrans. They're from Lyra. They the humans of this universe. They call themselves original humans, just much like original humans from Mars and other places. And they're the ones who are fighting with dragons because they have a big colony of their souls incarnated on Earth, and they're defending Earth for this reason. And that group, that united kind of galactic federation type group, it's all those races who got their souls from their planets, from their galaxies incarnated on Earth, and they're the ones patrolling and guarding it so nothing happens, so they can safely get out, get back after they're done with their experiences, so they can bring the experiences to their schools of knowledge about the development of the earth. So yeah, and you were in that battle. You definitely were in that battle. And I see it's like a group of people you're controlling. You're always in control of people, like that sheriff. And I see you as it's almost like a colonel, maybe. Um, Kind of like trying to explain that you were in control of all the action kind of plan type. Because there's another uh Lyran from about who navigates the spaceship you're on. But you're more about, okay, well, now we shoot, now we put the cloak of invisibility on the spaceship, now we go to that portal, or we teleport, because you do have some teleportation technology also. But I get a feeling there has to be certain um how to say it, certain conditions met to be able to do that. Because right now, all the focus of your energy, energetically, it's like it's about fighting and defense. Um, and then I see a lot of ships. They look like they look like triangular ones, and they get hit by reptilians. The green ones, that they're very muscular, tall, and you see that the members of your crew, or those you help to help them in the battles, going down, and I see their planes go like planes because they're triangular spacecrafts. They're going down and spiraling down, and you dive after them with the entire mothership because you figured that you'll anchor yourself in one of the layers above the earth to see what happens to them, or maybe grab them and kind of sway them away from incarnating on earth, because at that point the everything was shifting, the poles, the earth was um, wobbling. It's like a wobble ball, like a ball rolling back and forth. I see it got a lot of shifts of waters, of plateaus, platforms, crystalline structures are being buried under the ocean floor and going more into inner earth. Inner earth is being partially destroyed. It will be rebuilt after, but things like that. And you just end up in this first life as a sheriff because the reason why your consciousness picked that life, because that's the only thing you know. You know how to control, to be in control, but you don't call it to be in control. You call it helping from the wisdom from your own knowledge. So you were looking for the crew members, and you were following the four, but there are many more than four. There are hundred, over 100, like 102 crew members that got lost and sucked into incarnations, because by then there was a system, it's like a vacuum system that would suck souls in from, if you got into a certain layer built over earth, you would be kind of sucked in. And basically all these lives you've been looking for your people. You call them your people. And you were always hoping that they would incarnate with you, or they would be your children, or yeah. I don't know, it came to me as like a middle daughter, that is, she's one of your those people that you've been looking for. I don't know why middle, I just came. Um it's kind of interesting. Mm, I'm on the timeline that you have. I get a feeling you have like four daughters, and the third from the back is the one, and she keeps, that's the soul that found you, got magnetized to you, and got attached to you via a little energetic string, because she found her commander, her helper, and she wants to keep incarnating with you. You created that strong bond with this particular one, and that's your crew member. The other ones are different. There's only one that keeps jumping from one life to another, kind of following you. And let's go further. So this thing in the head, then you got dissected. It's like the cut here, cut here, like right. So body separated into three parts basically, and then I see a rectangular box here sitting on the chest, rectangular box down sitting on this kind of like a stomach area and solar plexus, and then another one in the reproductive kind of organ area. It's three of them sitting on top of each other right in the middle section. The other parts are just kind of separated because they didn't want to be this system of implants to be interfered by your own energetic kind of other parts of the body type thing. I mean, I see this big claws of a dragon. There's a brown one, there's a black one, there's a green one. There's just three dragons literally in there. But I see they're not pure dragons, they're Draco reptilians. There's a mixed DNA in them. And yeah, it's like three parts of different DNAs and different percentages in them. And this basically what they're trying to do is it's about mutation, it's about the mutation in genetic manipulation and your analytical abilities, your abilities of fast reaction, um, that they really want and like. As a commander type, they would like to use you in more projects when you're ready for it. Right now, you're like in this training kind of mode still because they know that humanity is going to be able to choose how long we're going to live. And for a lot of people, even in their like older age, they would still be taken, abducted, and trying to would be put implants in because they want to use them later for their other alternative virtual realities that they're creating at the moment. But they set up those traps, but traps is still open. It's hard to get souls in. So I do see that you come from Lyra, but it's there are different kinds, types of people. I would say maybe races, if you call it. Your race is it's kind of tan skin. It's not white. There are those with white skin and blue eyes. You're more like tan skin and green eyes. And you also have some DNA mixed with Lyrans who came first with peace, but then they got infiltrated by grays and they got implanted with gray implants, and um, they they basically were used to take over Lyrans. Um, that's why you have this mixture of DNA. So these are like plates. I would describe them plates and boxes. So what you do is you pull out that smeared kind of like dot. It's almost like dried up paint. That's how it looks like. So you take that one off, or rubberized mat with uneven edge type thing, because it's some sort of technology. That technology involves, depending on the hormones you produce, depending on the warmth of your vibrations of frequency, it reacts differently to you, and it would definitely, like little by little, dictate you some thoughts or some feelings to put you in certain vibration or lead you to a certain situation already prepared for you by them. Because there's a book that they have. I see this thing. I see a brown leather book with a round circle. It's golden, and there's a golden claw like a crab claw. Um, the crayfish claw, that kind of on it. Let me see why it is. It has something to do with the insectoids that they deal with, those Draco reptilian ones. And there's something they do, they use your DNA for trading with them. And I feel like your DNA is scattered all over the place, and you just have to go and collect it all, or go to back to the timeline where they started doing it to you. And it's like they wanted to deplete you of the DNA, if it makes sense, so your children would not have it from you, type thing. Because you can be very destructive to matrix when you fully wake up. So you take those plates off. They look like metallic dark metal plates that kind of cut your energy body inserts. So take the inserts out. You take the 3 boxes, 1, 2, 3 out. You take some, it's like strips, just like like almost looks like a sandal, but without the bottom. But there's like 3 strips on each leg, and there's also a bracelet on the left wrist, left arm. It looks like that metallic, made out of tiny, thin metallic plates. It lies on the skin, and it transforms information. It's like informational receiver, and also a recorder. So you take those strips off, those boxes out, the the ones that I sucked you to on both sides, and then the other ones. But the other ones, they kind of look like energies that are already barely hanging, but those are energies from your relatives, from your thoughts, beliefs. Some of them used to be your beliefs, but now they're not. And there's like multicolored. It almost looks like a pom-pom of energy on the left. I mean, you're right. Body. You collecting it like into a big ball, big sphere. It looks like Earth. And you said I just want to launch it in space and tell everybody that we're going to be fine here. We figured things out. There's those who did not go with the mainstream, and they are different. And that's a message that you want to send with those energies, which you do. And then you take the book from Draco, and you tear it. You tear it, you cut it, and then you put it in the fireplace that you created. In the fireplace, it's like you have this metallic, like a pan hanging on the string, and it just goes back and forth. The fire looks interesting because it's actually a blue pyramid of a blue crystal, and it shots up orange, yellow, yellow at the core, orange on the outside, kind of flames, but they are energetic flames, and everything melts in it. So you melted your book of lives, you open a portal through it out, and now looking at your mental, emotional bodies, you're taking this bullet out of your head after you remove this that thing that got into your head. You call it, let's call it jellyfish, I guess, even though it only has the the upper part, but not the tentacles. So basically, I see you kind of jumping from life to life from that. Those are like jumping jelly beans, like a, I mean, to compare with, because those synergies, they parasite first, they enter your body, they create this kind of like um, a top thingy. It usually goes into your head, but then from the head, it's like it starts dripping like water, like as if you were pouring water on an umbrella, and from the sides it drips into your body. That's kind of how it looks. So your body is being lost in this substance because the substance gets it's rather sticky, gets stuck on you. So what you did, you just took like a big brush and started to brush it down, scoop it down, all these energies. Um, so you did that. You threw that, scrape it out together with the energies that look like kind of like snowflakes out in the portal. Mental, emotional bodies. And now it's time to go back, all the way back to that place where you were fighting over Earth, commanding basically, you're not fighting directly. And then you kind of like push everything to another timeline. You insert a different timeline as if you change the circumstances to the point that the whole thing switched to a different timeline where they don't shoot any of your triangular spaceships and they all remain intact on the mother spaceship and you fly away. Mother spaceship looks kind of interesting also because it kind of looks like rhombical, rather like stretched out rhombus shape, and then it turns into kind of like stretched out cigar, or no, not the cigar, stretched out like oval. Yeah, from rhombus to oval, because the sides get kind of like smooth. They got smooth because they use certain technology that runs through the piping system. It goes like this at the bottom of the spaceship, and it can make spaceship go fast, go slow, teleport itself when using the portal, change the frequency of the spaceship and those inside of it. So that's all. You just change that all now. Mm, those hybrids, those little hybrids, they never really got a chance to grow further. That certain limit is something about compatibility. They're not compatible to be grown, even though there've been multiple attempts to make you get you pregnant with them and make you carry them for a certain amount of time. They would usually do it for like it depends, but usually around 3 to 4 weeks they would try to do it, and then take the baby, implant the baby, and all those not so nice circumstances or environment, so they don't progress. And so you changed all that too. Yeah, there's a lifetime that I'm seeing the subconscious also pointing. I mean, you're basically kind of done because you took everything out and cleansed everything, but you're pointing in this timeline, I must mention, because it's again, it's like a tribal thing, and you collect shells. You walk around Argentina. It's where Argentina is now, but I feel it shifted. The continent shifted. It wasn't before. I see some sort of like island of some sort, and then you collect the little shells, and there's some of them are so huge. They kind of look like in the books where they draw like fairies or elves and have this huge horn. That's how they look like. And in that life, you are come out of your body all the time. And that's what you miss a lot in this life because this body feels heavy. You don't feel like you can come out anytime you want. Astral travel, look at yourself from above and things like that that like you're used to do in other lives. It's subconsciously it creates a little conflict in between conscious and subconscious because conscious wants the physical body to experience that and remember, but conscious doesn't let you. So, but yeah, well, those implants are gone, beings are gone. You opened a portal for them, took them out. Let me see around. I kind of feel kind of uneasy feeling. I don't. There's some horrible things that you've seen and you're hiding them in your energy sphere for the better times when you can openly talk about them. Animal and kids abductions, how they use them, what they do with them, things like that. At the same time, I see you at some sort of on the other planet. Before it's kind of runs in parallel, but to balance out you energetically, your soul also puts you, I would say, on this planet with a lot of tall, super tall trees and beings living in the trees. There's interesting things on the chains hanging. This looks like an elevator or something. Yeah, you stand on it and it goes like up, it takes you up, but it works on your consciousness. So you don't really need to, it's not mechanical. It's purely everything works on your consciousness. And if you want like to eat something, you ask a raspberry if I can eat you, and one raspberry is enough as a meal because they're huge. They really are huge. It looks like a big jar. You can fill it up with water and drink the water from it too. But right now, your subconscious saying that your own mission that you assigned to your own self when you were still without interference is to create something fun with your imagination here on earth since you cannot create anything like that um, in other any other way around, I guess. So yeah, you're kind of like tough. You know how to open portals, how to strategically direct, how to make everybody hear you and do what you tell them to do. I understand you very well, but at the same time, you have this romantic to yourself, poetic, romantic, super creative abilities of just being along and just drawing or sketching or imagining, and that comes from that other life. So because on Lyra I see you more like mm, to explain, it's like you design lives and you create animals for the lives, and then you contribute to the universal library of different ideas for new creations. That's what you do. So let me check on your DNA. 56 strands of DNA. I also want to say you've definitely been like looks like a dwarf. Not you can call them dwarfs or gnomes, but they're different. They have this interesting. They have ears, and behind the ears they have like It's almost like a radar system of some sort that sticks out from behind the ears because you're the like water gnomes. I don't know how to explain, but it's like certain civilization that lives in fifth dimension of the Jupiter. That you live in this large areas that we might call lakes from a human perspective. So you've been living there too. Um, but just like having fun in different expressions of yourself and choose different avatar bodies because they're the ones who give you different abilities. And your 56 strands of DNA, they were kind of like, if somebody takes like a brush and puts glue over you, they were glued together, the strands. And that's why out of 56, they only kind of deactivated everything, glued it with the glue, numbs or deactivates, and they only left like the typical 3. Because the 2 you use, but the third one they use. That's why I said the typical. Because there are some things that were attached and I see them burn now. Yeah, your energy color is like light blue, super light blue, almost white. And yeah, that's the thing. So you checked on that, hybrids. Um, I don't see anything else. So you put all these dragons there through the portal, into the portal, they're gone. Around your energy sphere, you just like expand yourself. You do this with your hands, and you expand yourself beyond belief. You expand yourself so everything is filled up with your own light, and you fill yourself up with your own frequency, your light, your music of the heart, as you call it. And when you fill yourself with that, I almost see like the your body consists of light blue roses, and they start in a slow motion spinning and turning, and it looks beautiful. It's like a white rose with blue rims or edges to it. Kind of very interesting looking. So, yeah, I just see you back on Lyra. So on that constellation, back to your own home, back to onto your base. But then at the same time, you have some multiple lives going on together at different levels of the spiral of creation, or you could call them different names, fields or spaces of creation where you can experience different things. Uh, yeah, you can ask questions if you want. Yeah, just trying to focus to see what else. But you can unmute yourself and maybe ask questions.
Okay. Um, so it sounds like the first life was Lyran. Is that what you're understanding, or is it just
Mm, yeah, I feel like you come from there because I see Lyran constellation there. And that was at the time when the whole universe was created and seeded. And I see, people say original humans, but original humans, they come from different universes, and they come from different galaxies also. So it gets kind of rather confusing, but I see you come from Lyra. Yeah,
okay?
but with this darkish skin and green eyes, like dark green eyes, so different. There are different races too. There's not only one race.
Are they like a lion race? Is it like part lion, part human, or
Now the Lyrans came and they got mixed in with the humans and they hybridized themselves more, looking more like humans. That's what I see. And they also were there's different timelines where Lyran beings, which is felinoid forms, live on Lyra, on some stars, but also there are stars that only humans live. But then I see that the gray delegation comes and convinces Lyrans that they should try their technology, that it really works, and they let them implant themselves with something to be stronger or smarter, something like this, like they lied to them and then they use them to take over the other stars where the only inhabitants were humans, or humanoid forms, I guess, original humans. Yeah.
It's it's interesting because I had an image come into my head that well, actually, it was during a session with a medium, and it was an angel image. And then I had my card reading with Ashley, who is she's a friend of Janine's, and I asked her. I said, "Was one of my past lives like in the angelic realm?" And she says, "Yes, but you've had a lot of other lives as well off Earth." And so I was wondering, was there anything with like with the angelic realm, or is that just you don't see any of that?
Uh, Depends what you consider an angelic realm. You can consider yourself an angelic realm as coming from Lyra also,
Yeah.
because you're like, it's a very kind of like broad idea and perception also, and depends each person with psychic abilities would interpret it differently. And also, those dragons are very good at shape-shifting into angels. And I feel they just send you holographic image of the angel. It's almost everybody, if you ask people, at least once in a lifetime they saw an angel. And they would describe very clearly all the details, everything. And it's just the beings who are attached to humans love, 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 and always use that image of an angel to manipulate consciousness.
Okay. So the dragons, I don't understand what the dragons like are. Can you clarify the dragons for me?
Yeah, there's different types of them, and there's a lot of them being, had parts of this plane assigned to them, or I mean, they divided it. And a lot of them got hybridized with reptilians and Dracos, and their worlds were taken over by Dracos. A lot of original dragon worlds have been destroyed or taken over by Draconian Empire. So it comes from there because these are all hybridized. So it's hard to say that they're really, you know, dragons, but I see that the most of their DNA is of dragon DNA.
Okay, so was one of my lives as a dragon or
No,
no?
no, they just got attached to you because it was a good, convenient moment to do so, and you were right there. And they usually either watch you or they feel your emotions. Okay, there are beings around us all the time who are kind of like guarding us and waiting for us to go into low vibrational state of mind or emotional state, and then as you lower your vibration you get to their level, and at that level it's easy for them to enter your energy sphere and start controlling you and taking your energy or do whatever that is they want to do. So that's what happened to you, and that's what your subconscious immediately brought me to that life of a sheriff, you know.
Okay. Are they still with me?
No, you open the portal
I
and
got rid of them.
they're gone.
Okay.
Mm.
Are there any dark entities attached to me at this time in
No,
this
no,
life?
no. You don't have anything because right now you don't have anything. It was like all these lives going in parallel, and in whatever life you get the attachment, it that attachment connects to all the lives you have. Understand how it happens, right? So you got rid of these dragons, and you got rid of them in all the timelines, in all the lives that run in parallel for you.
Okay. Do all the lives sort of happen all in parallel at the same time?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm. They all do. Yeah, because everything is like a spiral. Everything is a circle, spiraling, 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 and in that spiral, there's no time. They artificially created the bubble of time, and we're stuck in it. And it's all inverted also because it's supposed to go into in a different direction, and you know they're hindering our abilities. They're hindering our spiritual growth by this time concept also. So
So, what's the best way to detach ourselves from their control so that we can free ourselves and get, what is genuinely our, DNA and our sort of abilities?
well, you just claim your sovereign being, your creator being. You have to change your beliefs. You have to understand there's nobody's higher than you. You have to understand how the mechanism of interference works and how they use it, how they created it to begin with, and then they created religion, and then they created different modalities, let's say like Reiki and others, or different like New Age, different groups, different movements, and they all are being used by those who created them to begin with to control us. So everything, it's like Matrix is all about control, and there's layers of control. So you think you got out of one control layer, but you got into another one. You have to figure out that one out too. So, and there's like layers upon layers like a matryoshka doll, unless you peel them all off, figure them all out, you cannot like set yourself free. It's all about the knowledge. That's why they hide the knowledge. They hide the history because without knowing history, we cannot understand the present and the future. All the things. They are true because they want us in a confused state, in a state where everybody says different thing, and everybody's fighting over the one truth, which one truth does not exist. They did it on purpose, where they put all these different souls, or you can call us star seeds, from different parts of this universe, and we have different level of consciousness, perception, the way we can see things, and there's not a single one who is the same, who sees the world the same way, and therefore there's no point of arguing. We can just accept each other's differences and respect them. But that's what they're doing. They're doing the opposite. So people are saying, oh no, this one's not right because the other one is right. But no, I mean, all people can, first of all, people can change overnight. They can either get interference overnight or, get rid of interference. And there's always kind of two sides of the coin, positive and negative, but it's only an illusion anyway. The positive and negative can switch from negative to positive and vice versa in 1 second, simply because the person understood something or learned something for himself or herself based on the experience that just happened. So it's all kind of like a game of trickery overall.
So, like the desire to have a purpose in life, is that part of the matrix as well? Is that sort of like the manipulation for us to want to do something to get out of this matrix, or is Like, you know.
Yeah, because they're trying to, because the soul naturally wants to know how come you got into this artificial reality, into this little box with all these rules and regulations, with this insane control system, and how come you're here? Because that's not your natural, um, it's not your true nature, and you know it subconsciously, it's not. So you start searching, like, what is the reason why I got here? And they give you on a tray a reason. Here you go. The new age says you came here because guides guided you here, and they gave you a mission. And here's your mission, you must accomplish it. The thing is, you're never going to accomplish your mission, because the mission is always like, in the movie Mission Impossible, because it's always impossible. And that's why and then for this goes karma. And then they use that, hey, once again, you did not accomplish your mission. You go into yet another incarnation. And that goes forever, forever and ever and ever. The whole system is towards the guilt and fear, guilt and fear. And by guilting you into something you have not done, have not accomplished, and also you're fearful that Jesus and that angelic realm or angels or whoever they are will tell you that you did a bad job, or you messed up a little, you know so they can control you through that. And the
So
whole idea of
the ascension that we're all talking about right now, like leaving 3D to go to 5D, um, does that get us out of this spiral, or is that just a continuation of this?
I see that we shifted to 4D, some of us, and for the past few days we've been holding, kind of like we've been opening, closing portals and things like this. The starseed's been guiding the souls through the portals, and in the right direction type thing, because our reality is closing. And in this closing, you have to make a decision. Do you resonate with this reality and want to stay here, or do you want to move forward? And a lot of us came here to actually move forward and by example show how to do it. So that's what we've done. And right now, the energies are so that everybody's gonna show his or her own face, her true face, with because you cannot do otherwise. It's like you being pushed. Everything is, it's just like an era of being revealed, and the truth is gonna come out, but it's gonna come out through revolution of consciousness. So you cannot act otherwise, but according to how you feel inside, type thing. And some people would not even understand why they start feeling this way. But others are kind of stuck in 3D, and they're going to be given time to still um, see and decide for themselves if they're ready or not. Because if you're not, it's not going to serve you to just
So
move.
will some of us go and some of us stay, or is it just a state of being? Is it a state of
Yeah, it's a consciousness. It's grows, and it's you grow in consciousness, and when you grow in consciousness you start seeing fourth dimension. So a lot of people would see, like, the veil is being lifted, the beings attached to people, the entities walking on the streets. Some people would see glimpses of some other people having, like, being real aliens, not people, things like that is going to start happening. More Mandela type effect, and more or other strange things happening like that. Or because timelines are also merging. One person can be at the same event and seeing one thing, and then other person at the same event seeing another thing, and then they don't understand how come they so differently. But it's because it's kind of like layers. The dome that everybody describes, I see that layers, energetic layers also, and each energetic layer contains different beings, or like they say, angelic realm. It's not angelic realm, it's a realm where reptilians live and shapeshift into angels to deceive people. And then there's a blanket of satellites for control system. There's a blanket of spaceships, all kinds of layers. And now these layers are kind of merging, and they're pushing the negativity out little by little. It doesn't happen all together. As our consciousness is growing and expanding in some people, that expansion causes the other layers of thinning out. And as they thin out, the low vibrational entities have to go somewhere. So there are portals that we open for them and push them out, like direct them out type thing too. So there's multiple things going on at the same time.
So lately, my sister and I, we've been, you know, we feel that we're sort of, um, we're changing. I guess is the best way to say it. We're doing things that are a little more esoteric. We're reading cards. We're using pendulums. We feel we're talking more to our higher selves to get answers.
Mm.
Um, uh, like right now, the connection you made with all of my past lives, was that through my higher self, or
Oh, that's your soul. That's your
it's my
subconscious.
soul?
That's
Yeah.
also your higher self. There's no really separation. A separation is created by conscious mind, like as a processor in our head, because the way it's designed is to compartmentalize everything. But there are no compartments. There's no division in reality. Um, but that's all whole you. It's one you,
Mm.
true you, and so.
So, like, what I'm thinking is, what is the best way to sort of evolve and to get more into that 5D sort of energy? Um, what kind of things should we be doing, to work on that?
It's not only 5D. Some people are going to jump high, much higher to 8 and
Mm.
9D. It depends on your consciousness.
Okay.
But other people kind of like stuck on the concept of moving to 5D, but they also got trapped in a trap of that, because they kind of follow some rules, and they think they mostly kind of involve their rational mental, ability and rational mind, when in fact it has to be all coming from the feeling from inside,
Mm-hmm.
and realization how you're supposed to be. It's not a concept. Okay, a lot of people make it into a concept. You have to do this and that in order to move there. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't, you're not going to move. Here's a scare tactic for you right here. Oh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
afraid I'm not going to move. What am I going to do? It's not like that. It's through experience. You understand. Okay, I don't think I'm going to waste my energy arguing or
Yeah.
saying that this one's wrong, this one's right, or this is right or wrong. There's nothing right or wrong.
Right.
Everybody has his own. And things like that, like it's almost as if some people wake up and start understanding these things, and they're like, oh, I'm changing. My perspective is changing, my understanding. And understanding is consciousness. The more understanding you acquire, the more your consciousness grows, like a synonym to it. So
So,
that's
like, is
what.
it just being in more of a state of love and appreciation and, like, looking at what you have and appreciating what you have and, being as loving as you can be with, those around you? And, is that sort of, like everybody says, source is love. So if source
Yeah.
is love, if we merge more into love, does that make us, closer to source? I don't know.
but also understanding that you have to kind of guard your territory in a way and make sure that you don't get contaminated with other energies because right now it's a chaos and mess. In this reality, we're trying to sort it out at the moment.
Yeah.
As you notice, some people like they complain to you or talk to you about their story, and then you feel totally drained by them,
Yeah.
and that's not what you want to do
Right.
because some of the people that kind of like in this, you can explain to them forever and keep explaining, but they will never get it
Yeah.
because they got attachment, they got entity attached to them who makes them do this thing. So when you want to multiply like this unconditional love or goodness or whatever you call it, you kind of want to be surrounded by people of the same vibration that you are,
Hmm.
and because otherwise it's just not going to work. You're not going
Right.
to be able to do anything and grow.
Yeah.
And so that's why a lot of people are kind of lonely because they're not understood, they're not supported, they don't resonate with others. So right now, in the sorting out period, it's kind of like that. It feels lonely. It feels like you're by yourself, but everybody is at the same time feeling that. But we're dispersed for a
Yeah.
reason because we're like little lightning bugs, and we connect in making a grid, create an agreed network type thing. That network is supposed to overlay the artificially designed network in terms of information, energy, and everything. And we're gonna notice more and more people who are not true or who are taken over by entities or AI. They're gonna be fighting with each other, things like that. There's going to be more and more of that happening in the process of sorting out, and then the people who connect by the frequency, who really came here to do something together, will really get together, and the other ones are gonna fall off, and there's gonna be a lot of loss involved in that in a way,
Yeah.
because we're like human beings, we get attached to other human beings,
Yeah.
but it's going to be sorting out by consciousness level right now, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's kind of like one space, lots of densities, lots of levels of consciousness that exist in the same space and the same bubble, and they all going to be go into different shelves
Okay.
or layers type thing.
Will we still see each other, like even though we're in a
Yeah, yeah,
consciousness, or
sure.
we'll sort of live amongst each other, but we'll be in a different state of
Yeah, you're still
existence?
gonna be saying hi and all that, but you're gonna be building something with the person who resonates with you energetically. You're not
Yeah.
gonna be doing a humanitarian project with somebody who's a low vibration.
Right.
So,
Right. Okay. Now, can I ask you questions, personal questions about this life? Like,
I
will
can make a
I?
different video if you want. I can
Okay,
turn
sure,
this one on, off.
sure. Thank you.
Hmm